Please subscribe to my channel and do hit the bell icon. Hello to all dear students. In this video, we will be discussing a topic of pharmacogenetics, that is cytochrome P450 isoenzymes. See, whenever we consume any drug, this drug will first undergo the phase of absorption. Absorption means movement of drug from the site of administration into the systemic circulation. After absorption will be the phase of distribution, where the drug gets distributed to various parts of our body. After distribution will be the phase of metabolism, and liver is the major organ for metabolism. In metabolism, mostly the lipophilic drug is converted into hydrophilic drug that will assist the next step, that is excretion of the drug. In this video, we are mainly concentrating upon, as the title says, cytochrome P450, and this enzyme has a major role to play in the metabolism step, where it converts the lipophilic drugs into hydrophilic one. So, cytochrome P450, it is the superfamily abbreviated as CYP, is a large and diverse group of enzymes. The functions of most CYP enzymes is to catalyze the oxidation of organic substances. So cytochrome P450, this name is given because cyto means cell. So these enzymes are bound to a membrane of cells. P means pigment, and what pigment means? The pigment is chrome, so it contains heme pigment. Next, this number is this wavelength 450, means it is the wavelength of 450 nanometer. When these enzymes are bound to carbon monoxide, they produce a spectrum with a wavelength at approximately 450 nanometer. This is the structure of your enzyme cytochrome P450. As you can see, it contains an active iron center bound to protein molecules through highly conserved cysteine thiolate ligands. Next, what actually these enzymes do? This enzyme mainly causes conversion of lipophilic drug into hydrophilic drugs so that they can be easily eliminated out of our body. Next, how they do? So, mainly they have role in phase 1 metabolism reaction. See, we know metabolism reactions consist of phase 1 and phase 2 reactions, and among these, the cytochrome P450 have got a major role in phase 1 metabolism reaction. Next, in phase 1 metabolism reactions also we have got oxidation, reduction or hydrolysis reactions. But the cytochrome P450 is mainly involved in oxidation reaction. So, whenever we consume any drug, this cytochrome P450, what it will do? It will act on those drugs and make them polar in nature by adding various functional group like OH, SH and H2 and so on and so forth. But even after making the drug polar, still they are chemically active. So therefore, these drugs after phase 1 metabolism should enter the phase 2 metabolism before getting excreted out of the body. Next, they act as monooxygenase. Monooxygenase means these are the kind of enzymes that adds one oxygen atom inside a bond. They facilitate oxygen cleavage. Okay, so we'll have an example by giving an equation, and you'll get to know all these points. So RH plus O2 plus 2H plus 2 electrons. So RH is our drug, and this drug, in the presence of oxygen, 2 protons, 2 electrons, and our enzyme cytochrome P450, it will get converted into ROH. Okay, ROH is nothing but the metabolism. RH is converted into ROH with elimination of water and an electron. Okay, so here you can see the third step, facilitate cleavage of oxygen. So what this enzyme is doing, it is inserting one atom of oxygen which is combining with two hydrogen ion to form a water molecule, and another oxygen atom is inserted into the bond. Yes, here you can see the second point. It acts as a monooxygenase, means causing insertion of mono, that is one oxygen atom inside a bond. So this results in water insoluble lipophilic non-polar drug is getting converted into water soluble hydrophilic and polar substances. Next, we shall check out the mechanism of action, like how it is converting a lipophilic drug into hydrophilic one by the addition or insertion of oxygen atom. So at the beginning, the iron in the cytochrome P450 enzyme will be in the ferric state, that is 3+ state. RH is our insoluble lipophilic drug. So the first step involves the enzyme combining with the drug. Okay, this is the first step. Next, in the second step, the enzyme substrate complex, it will be reduced by NADPH. NADPH will get oxidized to NAD plus, while the electrons gets transferred to enzyme substrate complex. Now oxidation state of the enzyme will be Fe2 plus. Before it was 3 plus, now it is getting converted to 2 plus. So in the second step, it involves reduction of enzyme complex and oxidation of NADPH. Next, in the third step, an oxygen molecule comes in and the electron is getting transferred from the iron to the oxygen atom to form a compound something like this. So in the third step, iron has lost an electron, whereas oxygen molecule has reduced because it has gained an electron. Next, the fourth step is similar to that of the second step, because here also NADPH is transferring an electron, but this time the electron is not accepted by iron, but rather it is accepted by the oxygen molecule to form to the power of 2 minus type of compound. Next, in the fifth step, 2 protons are added. These protons it will interact with the enzyme substrate oxygen complex. Next, 2 electron and 1 oxygen atom gets transferred to the proton, which produces a water molecule. Next, in the sixth step, the oxygen atom gets transferred to the substrate to form ROH. After this, the enzyme is able to release the complex and we will get our enzyme back in its original state. So in this manner, the cytochrome P450 enzyme, it will convert RH, which is lipophilic drug, into ROH, which is hydrophilic in nature, and it can be easily removed out of our body. So this is how the cytochrome P450 will produce its action. Next, we'll study about cytochrome P450 isozymes. The CYP enzymes are grouped into families designated by a digit after CYP and assuring 40% homology in amino acid sequence of the enzymes, and subfamilies designated by alphabet after digit following CYP and characterizing 60% homology in amino acid sequence of the enzymes. The last number in the name of an enzyme represents the sequence of the discovery. Like for example, CYP3A4. So after CYP, the first digit, it will be the family, and it contains 40% homology in the amino acid sequence. Next to the digit, the alphabet will be the subfamily that have got 60% homology in amino acid sequence, and the last digit, the last number, it will be showing the sequence of discovery. Several CYP drug metabolizing enzymes are controlled by more than one variant gene. This is called polymorphism and can explain the difference in efficacy, toxicity and metabolism between individuals. Of the 30 CYP enzymes, only 6 have a major role in drug metabolism, and these are CYP1A2, CYP2C9, CYP2C19, CYP2D6, CYP2E1 and CYP3A4. So we'll check out few of these enzymes. First, starting with CYP2D6. CYP2D6 is the most highly polymorphic CYP with more than 70 allelic variants reported. Many of these allelic variants are clinically important because although CYP2D6 only makes up about 5% of hepatic CYP activity, it is responsible for the metabolism of as much as 25% of commonly prescribed drugs. These drugs include antidepressants, antiarrhythmics, beta-adrenergic antagonists, and opioids, which frequently have a narrow therapeutic indices. While we now have more detailed information on the genotypes, the phenotypic differences in CYP2D6 were originally observed with debrasiquine, resulting in more general descriptions of poor metabolizer, extensive metabolizer, and ultra rapid metabolizers. So we did a study on debrasiquine, and depending upon that we have categorized phenotypically, not genotypically, but phenotypically we have categorized CYP2D6 enzymes into PM, EM, and UM. It is estimated that approximately 10% of the Caucasian population, 1% of Asian population, and 19% of the African population have poor metabolizer phenotype of CYP2D6, resulting in it will result in reduced metabolite but increased plasma concentration of the parent drug. An example of this is debrasiquine. Debrasiquine is an antihypertensive agent and it requires CYP2D6 enzyme for its metabolism. But since enzymes are kind of poor metabolizer phenotype, the plasma concentration of debrasiquine increases, which results in an exaggerated hypotensive response. Similar it was reported in case of tamoxifen. Tamoxifen is a drug which is used to treat breast cancer, and tamoxifen has an active metabolite, that is endoxifen. Endoxifen is produced by CYP2D6 that is thought to be responsible for much of its anti-estrogenic activities by which it can treat breast cancer. But the patients with poor metabolizers, tamoxifen, it cannot convert tamoxifen into the active metabolite, that is endoxifen, and therefore does not benefit from clinically relevant endoxifen concentration. Genotypically, poor metabolizers have two null alleles which do not code for the functional CYP2D6 due to frame shift, that is an example is CYP2D6 star 3 and star 6, splicing defect CYP2D6 star 4, and lastly a gene deletion, an example is CYP2D6 star 5. Next, the ultra rapid metabolizers, the UM, have very high rates of CYP2D6 enzymatic activity, so it results in very low plasma concentration of the active drug and subsequently low efficacy as such. Active drugs like tricyclic antidepressant amitriptyline may require doses several fold higher than standard doses to achieve therapeutic activity when the patient is a UM, that is ultra rapid metabolizers. The name only says the metabolism is very much rapid in this case. On the other hand, drugs that require metabolism to an active metabolite are extremely active with potentially serious consequences. An example of this is codeine, which is converted to morphine by the enzyme CYP2D6 O-methylation reaction to provide analgesic effect. But what happens, the ultra metabolizer will rapidly metabolize codeine into morphine, resulting in increased blood level of morphine. Morphine associated toxicity has been reported after codeine administration in patients who are ultra rapid metabolizers. The FDA label for codeine containing products includes a black box warning to highlight the risk of death in children with CYP2D6 UM phenotype, that is ultra rapid metabolizer phenotype. The UM phenotype is the result of multiple copies, that is up to 12 copies of either wild type CYP2D6*1 or the STAR2 gene on a single chromosome, resulting in greatly enhanced functional CYP2D6 activity. The phenotype is found in Caucasian population 1 to 10%, but is more common in others such as Saudi Arabians 20% and Ethiopians 29%. The CYP2D6 phenotype, that is extensive metabolizers, it mainly includes 60 to 85% of Caucasian population and has a normal enzymatic activity, that is CYP2D6*1. Next, in addition to the poor metabolizer, extensive metabolizer and ultra rapid metabolizer, an intermediate metabolizer, that is IM phenotype, is been identified. The IM phenotype is a result of either one null allele or two deficient alleles and is prevalent in up to 50% of Asians, 30% of Africans and around 10 to 15% of Caucasians. The deficient alleles include CYP2D6*2, *10 and *17, each of which has enzymatic activity that is less than the wild type enzyme, that is CYP2D6*1. Understanding this complex interplay between all the different alleles of CYP2D6 and the many drugs that it metabolizes provides a great opportunity for accurate genotyping to provide for sound clinical decisions to prevent adverse events and prevent therapeutic failures. Next enzyme is CYP1A2. CYP1A2 activity varies widely with genetic polymorphisms contributing to observed differences in levels of gene expression. CYP1A2 is responsible for the metabolism of about 5% of marketed drugs including fluvoxamine, clozapine, olanzapine and thiophyllene. Approximately 15% of Japanese population, 5% of Chinese population and 5% of Australian population are classified as CYP1A2 poor metabolizers. The most frequent allelic variant of CYP1A2*1F, which results in an increased expression of SNP, that is SNPs, in the upstream promoter region. Enhanced enzyme levels are thought to cause faster substrate clearance, which has been associated with treatment failures for clozapine in smokers with the STAR1F allele. CYP1A2*1C is also an SNP in the upstream promoter region that results in decreased enzyme expression and has prevalence up to 25% in Asian population. Next enzyme is CYP2C9. CYP2C9 has at least 30 different allelic variants, with the two most common, that is CYP2C9*2 and *3. So both of these results in the reduced CYP2C9 activity. Okay, reduced activity. So reduced enzyme activity means it will increase the plasma concentration of the parent drug, and this is carried out by about 35% of the Caucasian population. Like for example, CYP2C9 is a major contributor to the metabolism of a narrow therapeutic index blood thinner, warfarin. So warfarin, it is mainly metabolized by CYP2C9 and it aids in its drug clearance. But if CYP2C9 enzyme is of STAR2 or STAR3 variant, then such a CYP2C9 enzyme has an reduced activity. When a patient has one of these two polymorphism and he is consuming warfarin, then the dose of warfarin is needed to be reduced for clinical relevant anticoagulation is generally much lesser since the drug clearance is reduced. If the dose of warfarin is not appropriately lowered, then there will be an increased risk of bleeding. There are several other drugs affected by the polymorphism of CYP2C9, including non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, sulfonylureas, angiotensin II receptor antagonist, and phenytoin. For each of these, the CYP2C9 star 2 and star 3 polymorphism results in higher plasma concentrations, but because of their high therapeutic indices, except phenytoin, do not usually result in adverse effects. In the case of phenytoin, the polymorphisms result in drug accumulation and require dose reduction to prevent toxicities like dizziness, nystagmus, and ataxia. Our next enzyme is CYP2C19. CYP2C19 is a highly polymorphic drug metabolizing enzyme with at least 30 variants reported. Polymorphisms in CYP2C19 result in variable drug response to clopidogrel and several antidepressants. The PM, that is poor metabolizer phenotype, is often the result of two null alleles, that is CYP2C19 star 2 and star 3. Both alleles produced truncated non-functional CYP2C19 through the introduction of a stop codon. The stop codon in CYP2C19 allele is the result of the splicing defect that introduces a frame shift, while the CYP2C19 star 3 allele as SNP introduces the early stop codon. The allelic frequency of CYP2C19 star 2 has been shown to be 15% in Africans, 29 to 35% in Asians, 12 to 15% in Caucasians, and 61% in Oceanians. CYP2C19 star 3 is mainly found in Asians, 5 to 9%, with very low frequency in Caucasians, that is 0.5%. Now, clopidogrel, we know it is an antiplatelet drug, and for its activation means clopidogrel is a prodrug and we need to convert it into an active drug. Okay, so for activation, the clopidogrel requires a two-step metabolism with several different CYP 450 enzymes, with CYP2C19 being a significant contributor. But if the CYP2C19 is a kind of poor metabolizing phenotype, means the clopidogrel cannot be converted into its active drug and may result in increased risk of adverse cardiovascular outcomes, because the poor metabolizer does not activate the clopidogrel sufficiently. But if the clopidogrel is metabolized by CYP2C19 star 17 allele, it will result in gain of function and therefore more metabolic capacity than the wild type of the enzyme has been seen. So carriers of this allele are associated with high risk for bleeding due to the increased metabolism of clopidogrel to the active metabolite. So either first or second, both are harmful as such. These examples demonstrate that both loss and gain of function alleles can be significant effect on patient outcome depending upon the blood levels and activity of the parent drug and metabolite. Our last enzyme is CYP3A4. CYP3A4 is the most abundant CYP450 in the liver and metabolizes over 50% of the clinically used drugs. In addition, the liver expression of CYP3A4 is variable between individuals. To date, over 20 allelic variants of CYP3A4 have been identified. Despite the large number of variants, there is limited data demonstrating any significant clinical significance for CYP3A4 substrates. Some of the variability may be caused by allelic variants that influence the upstream non-coding region of the gene, specifically in CYP3A4 1B allele, which may influence gene expression, although the exact transcription factor binding site has not been identified. CYP3A4*2 allele has a non-synonymous SNP that is found in about 2.7% of the Caucasian population and has some decreased clearance for the calcium channel blocker nifedipine but not for testosterone 6-beta hydroxylation. The effects of the polymorphisms in CYP3A4 are still under investigation, but currently there are no null phenotypes. So this was all about this video regarding cytochrome P450 isoenzyme. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching.